All right, good job. We're looking at and I, and you're going to find information about this in the dictionary on page 3. In the dictionary on page 3. You're going to look at the second entry where it says when followed by a verb beginning with a consonant. It's also going to be considered a verb of location or particle or prefix when it means there, in that place, at that time, at, from, on, in, of, by, when the verb begins with a vowel. The A becomes an AI. Then it gives you other examples. Achompa. It should be to buy at, not to bury at. It should be to buy at. Achompa. Aminti. Aili. And I are used where an English place is used. Nosi means to sleep. Anosi means a place to sleep. And this is information that if you're looking on page 3, it's there. Impa means to eat. Aimpa means a place to eat, an eating place. And it can be a plate, it can be a dining room, it can mean the table. So we've had all of that before, and most often you hear the word aimpa being used for table, which is true, and that's what we have for table, but also can mean any place where you eat, or where it said from, you eat from a plate. So all of that is understood using a and I. So reading in the textbook now, and its variant, I, are very important affixes with several uses. Means a place where, or there, or from, and forms both nouns and verbs. We looked at how the when we used isht with a verb, it could remain a verb or it could become a noun. The same thing happens with and I. The form is used when the next sound is a consonant. The AI form is used before vowels, and sometimes you're going to see this written as AY. First example says ahoponi, a place where one cooks, or that's the literal translation, but the final translation would be kitchen. Abenili, literal translation, a place to sit, a place where one sits. Final translation, chair. Ayimpa, we just went over this one. Ayimpa, place to eat. We use this term for table, but it could be a restaurant. It could be the plate. It could be any place. It could be a cafeteria. But even if you are in a cafeteria, you may still eat from a table. But a place to eat is the literal translation. And like I said, it could mean, it could be a cafeteria, a restaurant, any place where you can eat. And then I'm going to skip over the other one and go to aboha anosi, a room where one sleeps. And it says bedroom. Well, we have learned, and there's a lot of things that are already established that I have no control over changing, because the learners today will look at a book and say, okay, this is what it says, therefore it must be so. But in this book, it's going to say this, and over here it might say something else. And so I usually try to stay with what's already been established. When we have aboha and anosi, anosi already means a place to sleep. Aboha is just making it clear, it's just clarifying that it is a room in which one sleeps. So even the word anosi can be making reference to the bedroom and not have to use the word room. But when you look on page 51 in the dictionary, you're going to find the word abuha anosi. And it's written as abuha anosi, and it says bedroom. Again, that's on page 51. I'm sorry, this says anosi. Page 51 says anosi, and it says it can make reference to a bed, a bedroom, and I like this one. It says any place for sleeping. The place where anyone or any creature sleeps. And this goes on to say a couch, a dormitory, a harbor, an inn, a lodging. And then on page 6 is where you're going to find the word abuha. It says a house, a building, a dwelling, a residence, a cabin, a room. Down, you're going to find interchangeably, exclusively room. In I believe it was in an earlier chapter where we had the word abuha to mean room. It can also mean a dwelling. It can mean a house. It can mean a building. Abuha can be a number of things, but the way it's used in this instance. I'm trying to find a particular page here. Give me just a minute. Okay. So abuha no si. Let me find that. I had given you the number 6, where you find the word abuha, and on that same page in the same column, if you'll go on down, you'll find the word abuha anosi, and it does say bedroom. And like I said, this being an established term, I don't deviate from it. But to me, abuha means a place to sleep without having the word abuha with it. But see here, it says abuha anosi can also be a dormitory, and that's a building, not just a room. It can mean a building. Going back to the word abuha, given significance to that word to show that this can be also a building, as well as meaning a room. Abuha and anosi to me are both nouns. And when we were working with nouns and you have two nouns in a noun phrase, one becomes the head noun, the other its modifier. So if we're talking about the room, then abuha needs to be the second word in this. Anosi abuha to me that would give us the word bedroom. Anosi means a place to sleep. Abuha anosi, you're talking about the room, then that should be, to me, that should be the second word. But this is one of those things that's been established, therefore we're going to not change it. It's just going to stay as it is. And going to atahli. Atahli. First, let's look on page 340. Let's look on page 340 in your dictionary. This, the book tells you that atahli means to finish from or to furnish But let's just take a look at this. Look on page 340. And this, the Byington Dictionary, it's written with the barred L. It's in the right-hand column. The second word, excuse me, tahli. The contracted form is taht, and it means to finish. And it says, see, taha. So let's look at taha. You're going to find taha on page 337. Taha is on page 337. And you're going to find taha in the left-hand column means to end, to be gone, to finish, to complete. And this is the verb. Taha in the participle form means to be done, to be gone, to be finished, to be completed. Taha can be an adjective meaning complete, can be an adverb meaning completely, entirely. Taha can mean the expiration and the end. So when we see the word tahli making reference to the verb to end, to be gone, to finish, to consummate, to end, to complete, to exhaust, to make an end of, all of this means taha or tahli. Tahli to me is the act of doing something. Taha is when it's already done. And that would give me the sense of the adjective, to be complete. Tahli is the verb that's going to mean to finish. Okay, now let's look on page 63. Now let's look on page 63. At the bottom of the page, right-hand column, you're going to find the word atahli. It means to do, to provide for, to make ready, to complete, to conclude, to appoint for, to execute, to find, to furnish, to finish. All of those synonyms come back in this one word. Atahli. Atahli. To me, I use this term to mean to provide. I think it's in our vocabulary words is provide. I don't see it. It may have been in another term where we use the word tahli. And here it says atahli means to furnish, to provide for, to make ready, to complete, to find, to furnish, to finish. Sometimes it's in the understanding of the word itself, even though it has the same spelling. Atahli. Atahli to me means where did I see that? To finish. To finish to me would be atahli. Atahli. But the word atahli, when you change the pronunciation, to me, this is the one that means to provide, to furnish. Atahli. Atahli, it's going to give the sense of to finish or to do something from something. But just that little bit of pronunciation, to me, atahli, when you put a short A in front and then atahli, this is going to give us the word for provide, to furnish. But atahli does mean to provide from or to finish from, but that is not the word that means furnish. Atahli is the word that means furnish. Atahli means the word that finish from. So there's two different meanings here, two different pronunciations. So atahli, as I understand it, only means to furnish or to provide. Atahli. So if we want to say furnish or provide, we use the pronunciation atahli. Do you have any questions here? Okay. Okay, there is your assignment. Define the following words and make a sentence with each and send translations. And you may not have the same answer as someone else. This is going to be defined how you understand. You might just give it a literal translation, but if you have a single word, it's easier to make a sentence with.